Somebody just walked out of your yoga class mid-shavasana. A student is crying in the corner. Someone asked you a question you cannot answer. Welcome to the realities of teaching yoga, and nobody warned you about this part. I'm Sage Rountree, and I help yoga teachers build the confidence and skills to handle anything the room throws at them. I've taught yoga for over 20 years, owned and run a studio, and trained hundreds of teachers. I have seen a lot, and the difficult moments never fully stop. What changes with experience is how you carry them. In this video, I'm covering the difficult classroom moments that come up most often for the yoga teachers I work with. Students leaving, no-shows, challenging students, and medical emergencies. And I'll give you the mindset that holds all of it together. I go deeper on each of these on my podcast, Yoga Teacher Confidential. I'll link the Classroom Challenges playlist in the description. If you want to work through situations like these with a community of teachers who get it, join The Zone, my free community at comfortzoneyoga.com. Link is in the description. Point number 1, when students leave. Early in my career, when a student got up and left the class, mid-sequence, mid-shavasana, mid-anything, I took it personally. I would spend the rest of the class trying to figure out what I had done wrong. But here's what 20 years of teaching has taught me. It is not about you. Students leave class for every reason you can imagine and many you can't. They remembered they left the kettle on. They got a text from a family member. Their back suddenly felt off. Nature called. They were processing something emotionally and needed to do that privately. Your job when a student leaves is simple. Let them go with grace. Don't call attention to it. Don't apologize. Don't break the container for everyone else. Continue teaching. After class, if you have an ongoing relationship with that student, you can check in. But in the moment that it happens, your only job is to stay present for the students who are still in the room. Another instance is when nobody shows up. This one is harder. An empty room has a particular sting that a single departure might not. Here's what I have learned. An empty class is an opportunity in disguise. Use it to practice or teach the class you had planned out loud to the empty room. Record yourself or work on a sequence that's been living in your head. Use the time to prepare for next week. The teachers who survive the lean seasons are the ones who decide when nobody shows up that the class happened anyway. There's also something worth sitting with. Full classes are not a measure of your worth as a teacher. Attendance is affected by timing, by weather, by competition, by studio scheduling, and a dozen other things that have nothing to do with your teaching. If empty classes are happening regularly, that's information worth examining, but a single empty class is just a Tuesday. Let's talk about challenging students. Every teacher has them. The student who corrects your cues out loud, the one who does their own practice regardless of what you're teaching, the one who sighs loudly in what feels like commentary, the chronic latecomer. The first thing worth saying is that most of what we read as difficult is not directed at us. The student doing their own practice may have a physical limitation they haven't told you about. The chronic latecomer may have a job that makes your start time nearly impossible, but who comes anyway because this class matters so much to them. Your first move with any challenging student situation is curiosity before conclusion. What might be going on for this person that you don't know about? That said, there are genuine boundary situations. The student who speaks over you, who creates an environment that's uncomfortable for others. Those situations require a direct, private conversation held with warmth and clarity. I noticed X. In this class, we do Y. Can I count on you for that? Most of the time, that's enough. The student who isn't a fit for your class will usually sort that out on their own once they understand what the expectations are. You might encounter medical emergencies in your yoga class. I know this one feels extreme, but after teaching for long enough, you will encounter a medical situation in class. It might be minor, like a student who gets dizzy or who has a stress response during a breathing exercise. It might be something more serious. The single most important thing I can tell you is know your emergency protocol before you need it. Know where the nearest AED is. Know how to call for help in the space you're teaching in. Your protocol has to work without knowing every student's medical history in advance because students are not required to share that with you and it's outside of your scope of practice as a yoga teacher. For minor in-class issues that don't require stopping class, move calmly toward the student, offer quiet support without drawing the whole room's attention, and empower them to make choices about their own body. Stay here and rest. I'll check in with you in a moment. Then continue teaching for everyone else. You can hold two things at once. Most important is the mindset underneath all of it. Here's the through line for every difficult classroom moment. You are there to serve your students, and most of what happens in the room has nothing to do with you. This isn't a way to avoid responsibility, but it is a way to stay present. When you stop taking classroom events personally, you free up enormous cognitive and emotional energy you can redirect toward actually helping your students. That equanimity is one of the most valuable things you can cultivate as a teacher and as a practitioner of yoga. And it is cultivated exactly the same way confidence is, by showing up, class after class, and practicing it. What is the most challenging classroom moment you have ever navigated? A student leaving, or an empty class, or a medical situation, or something else entirely? Drop it in the comments, and you might find you are not as alone in it as you think. For more support on handling everything the room throws at you, join the Zone at Comfort Zone Yoga, my free community for yoga teachers. You'll get monthly live calls, lesson plan templates, and over 2,100 colleagues who have been in the difficult moments and come out the other side. Link is in the description. I have done a whole series on difficult classroom moments on my podcast, Yoga Teacher Confidential, including 2 full episodes on medical emergencies, one on what to do when no one shows up, and one on handling challenging students with grace. Check out the Classroom Challenges playlist. I'll link it in the description, and I'll see you there.